Three, two, one.
Welcome to the Sports Junkie Lounge. Dive into the world of sports with stories, debates, and all the action you crave. Your hosts, Chacha, D-Lo, and the rest of the Run It Back crew are here to fuel your sports addiction. Now let's get it poppin'.
All right, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of the Sports Junkie Lounge with your boy D-Lo and Cha-Cha.
What's up?
So, we're doing this episode because there's been some things going on the off season. I feel like we need to talk about it, and it's been a lot, man. It's been a lot.
What you got?
So, did you hear about your boy Marcus Smart?
Yeah, he's going to the Lakers.
Yeah. Signed a
2-year deal, right?
Yep, 2-year, $11 million deal.
Yeah, he's on his last leg.
Wow.
Defensive presence, but as long as he don't try to act like he's Steph like he did in Boston. You know, he hits one, next thing you know, he's just launching. So, but get your money, son. So,
Might as well while you can.
But yeah, you playing with LeBron now, so, just all he wants is defense, I guess. I don't know.
Supposedly, but there's been other stories on that one. I'm not touching that one until we actually get what's up, so we can make the move. The Nuggets traded Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets for Cam Johnson.
Ooh. The Nuggets got the better end of that one.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson has thrived everywhere he's went. I hated that Phoenix got rid of him. I would have liked to have seen Phoenix run it back when they got to the finals, but in today's NBA, they chose to sell the farm, so to say, to get KD.
Yeah.
So they got rid of Cam and a few others, and they haven't been right since. But yeah, I like Cam. I like Cam Johnson.
I do too. He's a good young player,
Yeah, and Michael Porter, he's done. I feel like he's done all he can do in Denver. So
yeah.
So I just think, I just think he's done all he can do, and I think, and Cam is still young, and I think that he will thrive if they use him properly. They'll thrive.
Yeah. D'Angelo Russell signs a 2-year, $13 million with the Mavs.
Yeah. The West is so. The West is just. The West is just what it is. It's a lot of. It's a lot talent wise. But I think. I think he's an asset wherever he goes. What did they? So you said it was free agency?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't no sign or trade or anything. It was just a sign.
And plus they got Cooper Flag, of course, from Duke. So I think he'll be a good veteran to bring him along or whatever. But yeah, I think he'll be an asset. I'm just gonna say it, man. I just think that where was he last season? He wasn't with the Lakers, was he?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think here. I didn't really hear too much from him, about him.
D'Angelo actually got traded to Brooklyn last season.
Oh yeah. He was at Los Angeles and they traded him to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, this one was just a regular, a deal, like just signing.
Yeah, he can be inconsistent though, but it just depends. Especially like I said, playing with the Lakers, he was the point guard, whatever. He could hit some threes and he couldn't, and I don't know. I just felt like that. It was hard for him to just figure out, where he belonged with them, because they loved him when they loved him, and they disliked him when they disliked him, and so he couldn't have a bad game without them saying, well, maybe they should have just got rid of him, and he doesn't have to worry about that, now. He definitely didn't have to worry about that in Brooklyn. I think that was just one of those things where we're gonna let go of some pieces. I don't think he went to Brooklyn long term anyway. So,
right.
But I think he's a good fit for Dallas. Cause just think about it. He's gonna have a lot of opportunities. Especially with Luka gone, he's going to have a lot of opportunities, and like I said, they got to bring Cooper along, and they've got some other pieces with that. I don't know where Kyrie is with his rehab, but that may be another reason why they brought him in.
Yeah.
To hold it down.
That's
while Kyrie is.
That's what I was thinking. They needed a point guard to come in while he was doing while Kyrie was doing what he needed to do,
Yeah.
So,
but I'm okay with it. Okay with it. I think he's shown me enough. He's shown me enough, and he's always one of those valuable trade pieces. And so, yeah, I kudos to Dallas for that. I think it's still a matter of what they're trying to do now that Luka's gone. How would they run their offense?
Right.
What with the coach, who is it? Jason Kidd, right?
Yeah, it's still Jason Kidd.
Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of changes. They're gonna have to.
So and then Bruce Brown signs a 1-year deal back with the Nuggets.
Get that money, son.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. Get that money. I don't know. I think the Nuggets had their moment in the sun, and it's so different today with free agency and these max deals, and it's so easy to get rid of a coach and then have a whole different scheme, and so it's hard. And so even Joker, you don't even know what he's really trying to do going forward.
Yeah.
They got their one title, but they were in contention. I think they're still going to be in contention. They still have Murray, and Gordon.
Yeah.
Is Gordon still there? Yeah. And so it might be his year to shine as well. So I don't know about Denver. I don't know, but get your money, son.
Right. Speaking of getting that money, you got Kevin Looney. He signs with the Pelicans 1 year, $16 million.
Get your money. Get your money. That's a far cry from Golden State.
Yeah.
It's a far cry from Golden State. He's gonna have to adapt to that's number one, their system, and number two, just the youth there. And he can bring, and I think a lot of times these players moving around and the teams that the GMs look at them and like, oh, he can be a leader in the locker room, and so he might have that. He might be that person. They're not looking for him to do much, but just do what he did in Golden State.
Right.
But like I said, it's going to be a whole different system. They knew how to share the ball while also jacking up threes. But you got LaMelo Ball. He's legit. And so it's just what he's willing to accept. So and not only that, like you just said, it's a 1 year deal. So he's got to play for his career.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that might actually work with the Pelicans just because hold
that thought. I said LaMelo Ball. I was thinking the Charlotte Bobcats. My bad, America. He said the Pelicans. And okay, so let me backtrack. The Pelicans, they got McCullough's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ingram gone?
No, I think Ingram's still there.
And then you got what's his name? Big Heavy.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I was gonna say. I think with the Pelicans, it frees up if you put Looney in the paint down there at the basket. I think that kind of frees up Zion to play the power forward.
Yeah, most definitely. And the Pelicans have always shown the ability to give you 3 good quarters. It's just they can't seal the deal. They have a problem sealing the deal. They've been very competitive. They have been, to start out, you look up, they a 4 seed, 5 seed, then they take a couple of L's, then they a 7 or 8, then they fighting for that 10th spot with injuries or what have you.
Yeah.
But
so the point guards they have is Murray.
What's his first name?
Crap. I can't talk today. I've been tongue-tied all day.
Oh, yeah. DeJounte, I believe.
Yeah.
DeJounte. I like him.
And then they have Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is one of them.
Wait a minute. You said that Jordan Poole is with the Pelicans now?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jordan Poole, you have Jose Alvarado.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Fears, which I think he's a younger.
Yeah.
He's a new one. And then that's it as far as point guard. I mean, you could put probably Jordan Hawkins in the point guard because he's technically a shooting guard, but
yeah. And then they, like I said, they got rid of McCullough.
Yeah.
So they had to fill that. So I think that Jordan Poole, I think he'll be better. When the Wizards, when the trade deadlines hit and they brought in players like Middleton and it was somebody else, I can't think of them, but they actually was more competitive, and I think that I think he can thrive in a system that's more of a winning culture. Not saying that they're much better than the Wizards, but they are because they're always in contention.
Yeah.
You have to bring it, and you just, like I said, Zion is the X factor, and you know what you're going to get with Ingram. It's just a matter of, like I said, those two staying healthy. And so I like Jordan Poole with the Pelicans. I felt like that was a punishment for him when he got traded to Golden State. I'm sorry, from Golden State to the Wizards. I felt like it was a punishment. But hey, shout out to him, man. He got him a ring, and he's slowly moving into veteran status, and he can get you 15, 20 easily.
Yeah,
if he stays healthy as well.
One of the big surprisers of the offseason, though, has been Miles Turner. 4 years, $107 million with the Bucks. Goes from Pacers to the Bucks.
I don't know about 4 years. He's I don't want to call him old, so let's just call him seasoned. Let's just call him seasoned. But he's been around. He's been around. The Pace. He's been with the Pacers for a minute. What year is he in? Like 17?
Actually, that is good. I can't even remember no more because I know he's been. Well, yeah, because he's been in the league since 2015. So.
Oh, so it's just 10 years.
Yeah.
It's just 10 going on 11. Okay. All right. So, yeah. But I think that Indiana had all they got out of him, all that they could. I think that the locker room is going to miss him.
Yeah.
I think, as a matter of fact, I think that Miles Turner was the last of the Pacers that were there with, PG and Lance Stevens. And
I think you're right. Yeah.
And so, but I mean, if Brook Lopez can knock down the three, and Miles Turner can be a better rebounder, you know. And as a matter of fact, I think Brook Lopez is gone with Milwaukee, so they had to fill that in. He's gone.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't hear. I don't think I heard anything about that.
Yeah, he's gone.
Let's see.
He may. I think he's gone. I'm almost certain.
Nope. He is on the Clippers now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I knew he was gone. So.
Wow, that one slipped through the cracks on it.
Yeah, no, I saw it, and so then let's revisit the Milwaukee Bucks. Then, so they get rid of Brook Lopez, who was a pillar on that squad, and so he's not a high flyer. Mm-hmm. He developed a three, and like I said, he's a veteran. And he can get you 4 to 5 rebounds, and he has an IQ for the game. I mean, he won a ring. So he brings that. I just think that they had the Milwaukee had a vision. I think that if you needed somebody to replace Brook Lopez, Miles Turner is a great fit.
Yeah,
he's a great fit. I mean. Brook Lopez, he's 7'1". He's 7'1".
Yeah.
And he came into the league in 2008.
Yeah.
In 2008. So what is this, 2025? So I think that if you wanted to move on from him, getting Miles Turner is legit, because all you need is a front line to assist, Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis.
Yeah, because Giannis is going to do whatever he wants, you know. So he's going to play. He's going to be able to play whatever position he wants. So,
but the thing is that, with Miles Turner dangling around that three, he's more of a threat than Brook Lopez was. Yeah. And so Giannis knows how to drive and dish.
Yeah.
If you haven't been watching, his assists are for what he does. He does add assists.
It definitely does add on to the pace and space option for what the NBA's got going on right now as far as pace and space. I don't know if Doc Rivers, if he really does pace and space that much, or if he's still traditional style coaching.
Giannis averaged 6.5 assists.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he knows how to create, a shot for himself, but drive and then kick out, and then you have him getting offensive rebounds and being able to kick out on those as well. So his assists could possibly go up with Miles Turner on the squad. And it's not even about the stats; it's about the impact of the stats. And so, Miles Turner, and what was his deal?
Miles Turner, it was 4 years, $107 million.
Yeah. So they have a plan for him.
Yeah.
And he might have a bigger role than he did in Indiana. So it's going to be interesting, because he's definitely going to fill in for Brook, and I think he's going to be able to give them more. Yeah, for sure.
Moving on, we have some Knick news. You had it came in today that Mikal Bridges signed a 4-year, $150 million deal. So,
he with the Knicks still?
Yeah.
Oh, get your money, son. Get your money. And now they've gotten rid of Thibodeau,
and now they got Mike Brown as the head coach.
Yeah. So defense as well, but he knows how to use his bench. Mm-hmm. And I think Bridges will thrive in this under Mike Brown.
Yeah, and Mike Brown, he knows how to relate or to get younger players to play for him.
Yeah, to buy in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that coach. He's a player coach. He's
Yeah.
a player's coach. And so and not only that, he's a winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner. And I think that so they got Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns.
Basically all the Villanova boys.
Yeah. I think that they can. I think because remember he had Fox.
Yeah.
And so I think that he will be able to show Brunson how to get that ball out of his hands, because not only was Thibodeau, not playing his bench and wearing his players out, but he once Brunson became who he was with the Knicks, prior to this past season, that was a coming out party for Brunson season before last.
Yeah.
Unfortunately he got hurt and Indiana got past him. And so they went into the Western Conference against the Celtics. But I think that he'll be able to show Brunson how to be a scorer and a true point guard to where he doesn't have to dribble the shot clock down. Like, damn, get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. I think because that's the one thing Mike Brown helped with Fox was how to, be like help to lead his team and become more of a threat for like assist and all that. So I think Mike Brown might be a good option for this Knicks team, and because like you said, he's still a defensive minded coach, but he has more of a sense of moving the ball around, and everybody gets a chance, everybody gets a shot.
And he can use his bench. He knows how to use his bench, and I think that was the knock on Thibodeau, for real, the true knock. I know, when you get rid of coaches after the success that Thibodeau had with the Knicks, it's easy to say, well, he couldn't get him over the hump. Let's try something different.
Right.
It was the same with Doug Collins and Phil Jackson, the philosophies and what they felt like could work. And Doug Collins was successful. He became a 50-win coach with Jordan. When they brought him in, just we need to change up some things, the philosophy and all of that. But I think, like I said, I don't think it was about the philosophy more than the just not being able to expand the time.
Yeah.
How much time they were getting and using that bench. And so but I like Mike Brown, man. I
do
like
too.
him. I like him.
I do too. So I'm glad he got the opportunity for that.
Let me say this before we move on, because people forget Mike Brown, when he was the assistant at Golden State. You remember when Kerr went out and Mike Brown came in there and he did his thing. He implemented what's his name? The one that Shaq would always do Shaq dinner food with. The big man.
It's right there too. What's his name? The young
Mike Brown implemented him, and then when Kerr came back, he changed it back, and you didn't see him on the floor anymore. But I don't know. And I felt bad for him. I can see his face too.
I know. It's killing me. I can't remember because I did. He was one. He actually, besides all the Shaq and the Fool, when he actually got his bearings, I did like him as a center. So that's gonna kill me now.
I know. I've got to find it. I'm gonna look it up, America, because that's gonna eat me up.
Yeah, definitely gonna eat me up. But while you do that, we're gonna move on with DeAndre Ayton signed a 2-year, $34 million with the Lakers.
Yeah. the bigs, you know, just go out there and rebound. Not, you know, get a few. You know, he's not a 3-point shooter. He's going to always be in that post, and he's an offensive rebounder. He's going to give them more shot attempts. He will do that. He's got a decent game. He'll get you 12 points a game, but he's going to also give you double-figure rebounds. He's going to give you 12, 13 points a game. I'm going to say 10 to. And with him being with LeBron and the Lakers, and Luka, I'm actually going to say he's going to be able to give you 10 to 15 points. And like I said, and that's because he is an offensive rebounding machine. He's able to, it's a good move. It's a good move. I think the Lakers got a good deal out of that. I do. I don't know what it's going to do as far as them moving, if it's going to help them to championship level. But
the only thing that I'm worried about with that is Aiden is not really a good defensive player. Like he gets you some offensive rebounds and some defensive rebounds, but as far as rim protection, he's not going to be that guy that blocks, like stand up and block that ball.
Well, that's the thing. They don't play outside in anymore. So, you know, that's not going to be a big deal for him. That won't be an issue for him. He's just, you know, it's going to be his work ethic. Yeah. It's going to be his work ethic. I think that was the problem in Phoenix, his work ethic. And you know, you got to be able to follow those bigs to the 3-point line. Like, you know, Embiid and Joker, you know, you've got to move your feet. You've got to be able to move your feet and hold your position and then get back for the rebound. And so, but it's all, I mean, he's a talent. He is a talent. And it's just a matter of
him buying in
and what he sees within himself.
Yeah.
You know, because coming out of college, you know, he was top billing, and it's just his work ethic. It's just his work ethic. And so, I mean, as far as what he could be. And so, you know, if he wants to settle for just, you know, 10 to 15 points, 11, 12 rebounds, play your role, then he'll get that. But, you know, if you want to step outside of that and be dominant like like you can be, and it may be too late. I don't know. He's still kind of young. And so, you know, hopefully, you know, he can get around, like I said, with LeBron and you know, Luka playing overseas in this European tournament. And they say he's dropped a lot of weight. Maybe they can show him how to be better, how to dedicate yourself. And I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So you had Booker. He signed a 2-year $50 million with the Phoenix again. So
2-year what?
2-year $50 million.
It's 50 a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like 140.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Booker, keep him.
Yeah.
Keep him.
And another one that was kind of, I mean, I'm kind of glad they kind of separated with him, but the Suns, they bought out Bradley Beal's contract.
Yeah.
And he signed a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Clippers.
Yeah.
So
we're just gonna wait and see with Bill. He's just an injury waiting to happen. He's got a lot of talent coming out of Florida. I see Devin Booker actually his contract is 53.
Oh.
53.14 a year. So yeah, he get money, son.
Yeah.
And they want to build around him.
Yeah.
You know, the KD experiment didn't work, and like I said, I'll never understand why they couldn't run it back when they made it to the finals. And I understand because Chris Paul is who he is, and so he got hurt, and that made a difference. But with that young core, with Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and then Cam Payne, also from Villanova.
Yeah,
they had him too. They had a nice little nucleus with CP3 running it. Man, you gotta run that back.
Yeah.
You just gotta run it back. and it's just, and I hope we get to a place in the NBA where they stop selling the farm for these veteran superstars, because KD, in my opinion, of course he's great. He's KD has proven who he is, but he's not one to get you over the hump. He's not that. And I'm not saying in America that Kevin Durant is not a leader. He's not vocal. He's not going to get in that huddle. He's not that in your face, like, let's do it. What are y'all doing out there? That's not him. And, especially when you're injury prone like he is, and you're on a team like Phoenix that has sold the farm, and then you bring in Bradley Beal, and it just,
Well, I think a lot of teams are still stuck on the big three, and if a couple years haven't shown you that the big three is done, it's more or less the more well-rounded team as far as like, Boston the year before, and then you had the Thunder to win. It's more the well-rounded teams.
Yeah, you. It's about to me, from what I've seen. It's about how those pieces fit.
Yeah.
It's easy to just say, those days of saying like, okay, let's just add MJ to the squad and let's just see what happens. Let's just add Magic Johnson to the squad and see what happens. Let's just add Isaiah Thomas to the squad and see what happens. Let's just add Kobe Bryant to the squad and see what happens. Let's add Scottie Pippen to the squad and see what happens. I think those days, are gone, because that's what it became, that into, LeBron with the super team. And people can say what they want. They built a super team. This team built a super team before LeBron. That team built a super team before LeBron. But LeBron, that was his intent. He wanted to get the top-notch players to win. Win. And everybody gets players to win, but before the big, they wasn't like, okay, like Boston when they added Allen and Kevin Garnett. You didn't know what you was gonna get.
Yeah.
You didn't know you didn't know if that was gonna be good enough, because Kobe was still playing.
Yeah.
Kobe was still playing, and then you had LeBron and then you got a young Rondo on that team. So it was like, okay. And even if Paul Pierce gave Kevin Garnett a call, it didn't have the same look, because they were all veterans.
Yeah.
That, you wanted to see how much they had left.
Yeah.
I mean, because people forget who Ray Allen was before he became that 3-point shooter. And he out of UConn, he was one that would dunk on you.
Oh yeah, he was getting buckets.
Yeah, I mean, in Milwaukee and Seattle, aka now the Oklahoma City Thunder, he was that dude. He was that dude. He made the Hall of Fame for a reason.
Yeah.
And so, at his point, it was like, what does he have left? With Kevin Garnett, because the thing about it is when LeBron went to Miami, they had already won.
Yeah,
they had already won. So it was like, okay, Shaq is gone. So it was, and then you had Bosh, who was averaging 24 coming out of. He was an all-star coming out of Toronto. Mm-hmm. He was that dude, and then then you add Kevin Love later on.
Yeah.
And so. So my point is that trying to find that player that can lift your team and get you over the hump. LeBron showed that it doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work, because he should have got more in Miami.
Yeah.
He should have got more in Miami, and he didn't. And not saying that he's not a leader, but he could not elevate. He could not elevate. It took him a while to be that guy, to elevate. And so, if you don't have somebody that's And it takes, it's going to take a lot to get somebody like a Kobe or an MJ that just has that dog in them. Like, that works you out in practice, that's beating you to the gym. No matter how old you are, he can be 7-8 years ahead of you on that team, and he's going to beat you to the gym.
Oh yeah.
And that's the intangibles, and that's a lot. Like this era is all about stat production, but there are intangibles that you just can't replace, and that's what I think has hurt trying to find those max players. I mean, look at Paul George. Just think about it. The Clippers got rid of a young Shea Alexander to bring in Paul George, and that was like, he's a defender, he's proven, but has he ever really been that player to get you over the hump? No, because he could not get past LeBron.
Yep.
He take him to 7 games though, him and Lance Stevens and the crew, Miles Turner, whatever, but they could not over the hump. Injuries, this, that, and the third. He's got accolades. He's got that. But can you get them over the hump? Another player, Harden.
No.
Harden. Can he get you over the hump? And so there are just so many intangibles that you don't account for that make a difference when you go out and get these superstar players. So back to Durant. What is the intangible that he's going to be able to bring to Houston to get them over the hump? Because they already there.
Yeah.
They were a 2 seed. They just got too many daggone guards.
Yeah.
And I think that Reed Shepherd, this will be his breakout year.
Yeah.
The only knock on Reed for me, he was Big Blue, and America, Big Blue Nation all day, BBN. And I thought he should have stayed. Because he does not know, he didn't know how to step up. When the spotlight's on you, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna shoot it or are you gonna pass it? Because when it gets down to that G League, oh yeah, he's butter. He's him.
And I honestly think that Calipari wasn't using him right. Like he would put him in, like he would bring him off the bench, and I don't think he was an off the bench player.
But he started when Wagner got hurt.
Yeah.
And we seen and even in the game that they got eliminated in the NCAA tournament, his stats were horrible. We're like, shoot the ball, shoot it. That's what make a difference. And like I said, he's a great talent, but the mental aspect of the game makes a difference. And maybe he's ready to take that next step. Like I said, when I told people he wasn't ready, they was like, oh, but he's this, he can do this. Yes, I never questioned his skill set. Yeah. But it's the mental part of it, the rigors of the NBA. When you get out there against those players, and you got the NBA spotlight on you, are you able to just say, like Kobe, like, I ain't passing this. Everybody knows Kobe coming out of high school. It took him a few years to develop, but he took the shot.
Yeah.
There was some shots he took. I watched the game and they had to take the last shot. And I'm sure it wasn't supposed to go to him, but he took it. It was an air ball. It was an air ball. But it don't matter. He had that mentality like, I'm gonna be that dude. Just give me a chance to develop, get a little strength in me. And so that's what I think is why the Big Three thing is not what it's cracked up to be, because now they see that it takes more than skill set.
Yeah.
You have to have that person that can pull you through the tough times.
Well, and I think you got to have the Big Three it was fine at the time, because everybody was trying to create the Big Three. So at that point, it was like, which Big Three was better, and then who was going to end up having a big game like Ray Allen did for the Big Three, But when it comes nowadays, it's like you see a team like Boston, you see a team like the Thunder who has that, they're like, they have that.
Thunder is just a young talent that just.
Well, they have that. What's the word I'm looking for?
I think they have that cohesiveness.
Yes, that's I had
all
brain
good.
fog
I know.
today.
No, I'm right there with you, Because okay, you have that one Shea. You know, he was MVP of the league, MVP of the finals, and he saw the vision. He was like, it's not about me. And when he did interviews, he brings the whole team.
Yeah,
you know, and so it wasn't about. And then Williams got a chance to thrive. He became an all-star, and everybody else. And the only thing, because not this past season, but season before last, when Boston won it, when Dallas knocked them out, they were the number one seed in the West. They were that squad. But the only thing they were lacking was size. They were too little. That's why they went ahead and got rid of Josh Giddey and brought in Hartenstein from the Knicks. And they brought in some other pieces with size. They just needed size.
Yeah.
And so from there, it's not all about having that superstar. So they're gonna have money to be able to play with for a while.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, the big three. It's not about because they would say. Now it's all about if you bring a superstar, another superstar to add to another superstar. The question is, how well can they play together? How well will they be able to share the ball? Ain't nobody on that no more.
Well, and that's the thing that the people don't really look at. Like, you look at the first three-peat that Jordan had. Like that team right there. He was the one. He was the glue for the team. He brought the team together to where they can win. He read the team. He knew where their best spots were. He knew what was going on, and he was able to feed that. And I think that's the way Shea is getting. He's able to like, all right, you're in your best spot. I'm gonna get it to you. You know what I mean?
And they try to diminish Jordan now. With this LeBron era, they try to diminish him like he couldn't win without Scottie. But it doesn't matter. There hasn't been a team that hasn't had a number two. Nobody said Scottie wasn't great. He's a top 75. He's a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. He just wasn't better than Jordan.
Right.
He just wasn't. There was nobody on the team better than Jordan. And then you have people say, well, he took all the shots, but he shot 50%. But if you watch the games, it's not like he was gunning the whole game. He conceded to his team. And they refused to look at his assists and this and that. But the thing about it is, he lifted those players up to become who they were. Because think about it, if you look at players that moved on from the Bulls once, the first or second three-peat that they brought on. I mean, even Kukoc, when he left, he went to the 76ers. He was not the same.
Yeah.
He was not the same. Kerr didn't have to worry about nothing. He went to a system, the Spurs, where all he had to do was shoot threes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Come off the bench, do what you do. That's perfect. They was fundamentally sound, and you had Popovich, but then you had even
Luke Longley. He when he went to the Knicks, he was injury prone.
He was not that dude. And I'll even go back as far as Horace Grant.
Yeah.
He left and got his money with Orlando.
Yeah.
And he wasn't an all-star, with Shaq, and then he got to go back to Phil with the Lakers. I think he got a ring with Kobe and the Lakers.
I think he did.
Yeah, and so I'm almost certain he did. But then you got a Kobe that's gonna be able to push you where you need to go. And so, but they never had that same. Because like I said, Horace Grant became an all-star the first year that Jordan retired. He became an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't an all-star the next year. And we know Jordan came back the last 17 games of the season before that 72-10 season. But he made his players better no matter what people say. And you can love LeBron. I can't knock what LeBron has done for the game. When he went to Miami, I knew who they were before he got there and how much better they were, once he got there, and then what they wasn't when he left. I remember what Cleveland was when he left, and I remember who Cleveland was when he got back there. So I know his impact. I know what that is. And for me to say that I don't think he's the GOAT or he's aight as a number 2 best all time, I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking him at all. And so, just we know he needs help. Let him tell it, But it's just that era is gone. You have to be able to lead your team.
Yeah,
you have to be able to. It's not about getting the best players out there and put them out there and get a coach that can coach them all and whatever.
Yeah, and I mean you need to build the chemistry with your team to where you get your team to buy in. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I said,
and you don't need a big three for that.
No, and like I said, and that shows. Like I said, with the past 2 championships.
Yeah,
I mean, even with the Nuggets, I mean, it wasn't really even they had the
they had 2.
Yeah,
they had Jamal Murray. And he developed into an asset, so it's never been about it. But Jamal Murray was still. I mean, he's a threat. And he tore his ACL, and I think that kind of brought him back down. But and I think that Michael Porter was supposed to be a part of that. I think that they figured that he would develop and grow into that third option, and he was just inconsistent, injuries, this and that, and then you got Gordon, of course, and Gordon is nice.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say, he's nice, and so
I know. I just wish he gets that bounce back in his dunk, because his dunks are nasty. I know. I like. Besides I will say that one that him and Zach LaVine in was the dunk on that dunk contest. That was the baddest dunk contest I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
it had to be since 2000s when Vince Carter and them was on there.
The Thunder basically have changed the game for this. I mean, they're gonna have to. The league is gonna have to take notice, because they're a small market team.
Yeah,
they're a small market team, and for the last 2 years, since they got Shea, they've been on the rise, and they got this new young coach. And like I said, with the whole thing with Shea laying out there drawing fouls, I wish he would stop doing that. He doesn't need that in his game to initiating fake contact and getting a call. That's officiating, America. I wish they would have a class on officiating with these officials, man. The way that they call the game now, it's so easy to get a 3-point play, a 4-point play from shooting a 3 and all that. The officiating is just horrible. Well,
they need to keep the officiating consistent. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you get inconsistency everywhere, in the officiating. So they need to get all those together and just make it to where this is the set what it is.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, go to the monitor and have them tell you what it is.
They don't even need the monitor. Just stand on it. Just stand on your call. Damn it, call the travel. Damn it, call the carry, because we all see it.
Yeah.
All this so extra gathering. Okay, I get the gather. I get it now. I get it. But there's nothing new.
Yeah, but in that one gather, they take 3 extra steps.
Yeah,
and it's a little stutter step they take. It's ridiculous.
It's a bit much, and it's hard to defend that. It's hard to defend. And like I said, I watch these games, and these players come down and they put their hand up under the ball and turn it over just when they standing in front of the man, just trying to call the play out. The ball is being turned over, and they just let it go.
Yeah,
and it's crazy. But so the officiating, that's for a whole different segment.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's going to play into how the viewership, along with the big 3, no longer being a big thing. I mean, because I'm gonna tell you, this is KD's last ride.
Mm-hmm.
This is his last ride. So everybody's going to be watching Houston. Like I said, they were a 2 seed without him.
Yeah.
So they're going to be watching. They're going to be watching to see how he is as a veteran player that's on his, I'm going to call it his last leg, how it works out. Because, of course, they're going to still keep going out, and there's going to be money here and money there, for certain players, but they're going to be watching because, you got these young coaches coming in, and they just, I forget, where did Darren Fox go? He's with the Spurs. He's with the Spurs.
Yeah.
He's with the Spurs. And so and then you got Wemby and all. I mean, it's just a lot of talent out there, and it's just about leadership. It's more about leadership than going out there and getting the best players in the league to put you over the hump. I think they're moving away from that because it doesn't work. LeBron wasn't able to. I mean, he won 3, but it wasn't. He predicted what he predicted. I'm not gonna get into that, but it just. And then even on top of that, he didn't have to leave Miami. He could have stayed there. He could have stayed there. He could have stayed. And I just think that, for whatever reason, who knows with LeBron, but going back to Cleveland, that now he wants to change his legacy. People can praise him for giving freedom to the players, but, and they money, get your money, but at the end of the day, as a fan of the sport and not a player of the sport, it's about my team getting a title. And that's it. I don't care nothing about all that extracurricular. I don't care about who you have on this team and who else you add to that. I just want you to get a title.
I mean, in that sense, on itself, I'm gonna put a pin in that because we got a couple more of the off-season things going on. So speaking of the Clippers, Chris Paul decided to go back to the Clippers for 1 year, $3.6 million.
Good for him.
And then
his last hurrah.
Yeah. So and Luka signed a 3-year, $165 million deal with the Lakers.
Yeah, Dallas was not trying to pay him.
Yeah, with the player option in 2028. And then the other big news that came out this offseason was the Bucks waived Lillard.
Yes,
and he went back to the Blazers for 3 years, $42 million.
He divorced his woman. He had to get up out of there, get his mind right. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, America. I'm just joking, America. Shout out to Dame Dollar and his ex, whatever you doing, keep on keeping on. But yeah, man, I saw that. And once again, Milwaukee, an experiment trying to get another superstar with Giannis.
And didn't they do a Sons and Bet the Farm for Lillard? Like, they got a lot of key people that was from their championship team and traded them in a multi-team trade for Lillard.
Yeah, they did. We can look it up.
And but yeah, it just the way the league is now, I just like you said, like, it just, besides the officiating needs to get on the same point. It's no longer about a big three or how many Hall of Fame players you have on there. It's about how cohesiveness and the chemistry that your team will have and buying in. And it just, like you said, like right now, as far as that, you just see the I would say the diamond picture, like it just would be of what, the Thunder has to what Boston has, what I mean? Although I was sad to see Drew Holiday leave Boston.
Yeah.
It just so
going back to that trade when Milwaukee brought in Lillard, it was a 3-team trade. It was Milwaukee, Portland, and Phoenix. So the Bucks received Lillard. The Blazers, that's when they got Ayton from the Suns, and then another dude, Kamara, from the Suns, and then Drew Holiday.
That's when he went to Boston.
Yeah, and the Bucks got a first-round trade for 2029. No. The Portland. I'm sorry, Portland got a first-round pick from the Bucks. Yeah, and 2 first-round pick swaps within the Bucks. So it was a lot. The Suns received Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, That was the dude from Florida, the one that collapsed, I think.
No, wasn't it the guy that was from
I think
like
it was
Kansas
him.
or Arizona?
No,
or
he
something?
played at Kansas State, but he was at Florida when he collapsed and he sat out a year.
Oh yeah,
and he came back and Florida would not clear him to play.
Yeah.
And so he moved on to Kansas State.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot that Milwaukee gave up, and on the only player they got was Lillard. So once again, America, they bet the farm. And it didn't pan out. It just did not pan out. And so it's not about the talent. And it's showing. It's just not about the talent. It's about the cohesiveness, and it's about the leadership. In my opinion, because Lillard, he's a great player, but I don't know how much of a leader he is. You had him and McCullough; they did their thing, but they wasn't bringing that team together to get over the hump.
No, because it was Dame time. I mean, it is what it is.
But you got to get the others, to step their game up. If you're a 7 seed in 2021, then we want to be a 5 seed in 2022. Then we want to be a 3 seed in 2023, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's just, like I said, nobody can knock the talent. I'll never do that. They're proven. They're getting their money, but there's just so much with this social media and now the teams are looking at how can we, they're adding their brand to make money. Like, we can get people in the seat if we bring these players in. But yeah, you can get players, you can get your seats filled if you win too, because Oklahoma City is going to continue to sell out.
Because that's what I was going to say when I said I'm going to put a pin in that and I'm going to come back to it. And that's what I was going to say with your comment as far as being a fan and not a player, about getting the money. But at the same time, the fans is what brings them their money, because if the fans ain't watching,
facts,
then they ain't getting their money, and that's the problem with the WNBA. People ain't watching the WNBA, so they ain't getting their money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna go ahead though.
But it's back when especially when I was watching when I was a kid growing up, looking at the players that was playing, being the fans of the players that was playing. That was the one thing I didn't have to worry about was, is this player going to be playing on this game?
Don't get a jersey.
Yeah, like, and it's just like nowadays, like you got to worry about if you trying to go to pay the money to go see a game. You're like, well, I don't know. It's a player that I'm gonna watch going to be playing.
This is load management.
Yeah, like it. God, don't get me started on load management. It's going to be the
That's why they're not playing.
Like I really think load management deconditions the players. Like, and by the time playoffs hit, they want to go hard in the paint, and then they get hurt because their body's deconditioned from load management because you're not going that hard throughout the season.
So it's kind of working in reverse. Because they want to save them for the playoffs, but when the playoffs come, and it's only a game here, a game there, but the fans matter. So, it's different. But to the NBA, the WNBA, real quick, and them trying to, with CeCe, Caitlin Clark, and Angel Reeves. That's going to be what it's going to be. But there's so much talent that was there before those two, and now you have these fans that just they just start watching because of Caitlin, and that's fine. But the thing about it now is it's just become a circus. It's become a circus because you see these post game interviews, at the stand, and they're just always complaining. The refs are not giving Caitlin a call. They're not giving the Indiana Fever the call. You got Angel Reese. Something's got to change. You don't see NBA players doing that on a regular. They might do it, it's at a specific game. You might see a coach go off like, that's just ridiculous. It was 31 free throw attempts to 10. Every now and then. But it's like now the game is, the WNBA is popular, but that's all you see on social media is complaining. The fans are just complaining, and it's just taken away from the game itself.
Yeah.
I wish it would just go back to what it was before, before its popularity increased, because you didn't see all this crying. I just want to see competitive basketball, and whatever happens. Stop acting like Caitlin Clark is the only one that gets fouled and the refs miss a damn call. That happens in sports, period. In any sports, any genre of the NBA, NFL, MLB. That's why they brought in instant replay, because calls get missed. It's not about a specific player that they treat in a certain way. That's just the way the game goes. And they make it hard to follow on the internet.
Yeah.
As much and even watching it, because that what they're talking about on social media is not what you saw, and it's just horrible. I just wish they would just stop doing that. Stop crying about a particular player not getting any calls, and that a particular player that they're out to get them. That's just the nature of sports. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why these people, these fans, these so-called fans, don't get that. They get it, but even when their team gets a call, it's not enough. They're like, finally. No, it's not finally. It's not finally, because if you flip the channel and watch another damn game, you'll see the same thing is going on with another player, but they cry so much. I mean, it's just different. It's just different, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, they cry. I mean, they cry in the NBA too. The players cry. They cry. Oh my gosh, they flop and cry. They cry and flop and cry. Yes, but they don't take it to social media and just beg for a superstar to finally start getting a call. But in the WNBA, they're doing themselves a disservice, and it's not. When they do that, I mean, Caitlin, even when she wasn't in the game, she's stepping out on the floor with confrontation with the refs. Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, y'all moving numbers. Y'all still got a long way to go, but stop crying so damn much, because it happens throughout the league. But you have these fair weather fans that haven't watched it, and they don't understand that. That's league-wide. That's why they have freaking instant replay.
Yeah.
Because it's a league issue. It's not a one-team issue.
That, I think, and especially
conspiracy theories, it just makes me sick.
And I think, honestly, with just pro basketball, period, I think that a lot of the players, it's more or less what the game does for them instead of them having love for the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they love what the game can do for them.
Yeah.
But they don't have love for the game, and
yeah.
I think that's where it becomes, especially with load management. They're like, well, the season don't start till after the All-Star break and this, that, and the other, and it's just like, when those things I never really heard until this newer generation.
Yeah, I mean, the social media, like especially trying to uplift LeBron, you can uplift him, but if we don't think he's a GOAT, he's not the GOAT. But you ain't got to diminish everybody else that came before him.
Right.
And he's buying into that. He's just so flip floppy, like he is on the court. But we're not. It's not about LeBron. I mean, even you can see on social media, these podcasts popping up, and it is what it is. And you'll have players say, I'll take a 300 max deal over a ring, because they wasn't making the same money then.
Yeah.
And that just lets but it's easy to say that after your career is over when you didn't get a ring.
Right.
Oh, if I had a choice of winning 3 rings and making 70 mil versus walking away with no rings and 300 mil, damn that ring, I'm taking 300 mil. Nah, player. No, man. No, it's like I said, it's easy to say that now. Then why was you even playing?
Yeah.
Why was you even playing? Because that's the ultimate goal. That's
right.
The ultimate goal. And so, like I said, like you, to piggyback off of what you said about the money, and you just see it, but especially from these old heads that don't have a ring, because it's easy for them to say, well, I got that bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool. all right, cool, yeah, you got the bag, but that's not why you was playing. That was a part of why you was playing. But I mean, there's players that came from the 80s and the 90s that are multimillionaires that have ventures after the game, and so it's all about winning and being the best manager of your money. To me,
yeah, because I mean it's just like, I mean, and like I said, people nowadays, like even you said, like people nowadays, they're so quick to down on Jordan, but if it wasn't for Jordan, you wouldn't have player shoes. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have players making money off his shoes, because it'd still be like the way Converse did. Converse, you had I even shame myself, I can't think of the name right now. But like you still have the plain white Converse, and like you didn't, like Magic's names wasn't attached to the Converse.
It was called Weapons. They were called Weapons. Him and Bird had those. They just named the shoe, like, but he didn't have his name.
Like you didn't have the Magic Johnsons. You didn't have the Larry Birds. That's where Jordan changed the game to where you can add, you can have color on your shoes. You can have a brand name of your shoe to where you're making money off of it. So there's so much that don't get credit for it, but it's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's a different league, it's a different time. I'm really hoping that this generation, that this now, like I said, this past 3 championships is making headway to the more of a consistent team play, like the way the game should be, because there is no I've heard it ever since I was young and I played on a team. There is no I in team,
right?
You know what I mean? Like even what we do on this, you know what I mean? Like it with the running back, like we're a team. You know what I mean? Like we put our ideas out there for all 4 of us to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all about the team. Like if your team's not consistent or cohesive and got the I said it earlier. But if it doesn't have that
camaraderie,
and all that, if it doesn't have that, then you're looking for a bad team. Because I mean, look at the team that the Clippers had with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, all them. Like they was a good team. They could have gone far, but with injuries. But then later on, they came out to where they had problems in the locker room.
Yeah, once they brought in Austin Rivers.
Yeah, like it's not gonna work.
Father playing with his son, it was just different. They just felt like he was getting special treatment. I mean, that's documented. That's what I heard, America. I don't know how true it is, but there's players that's come out in podcasts and spoke on that. But I 100% agree, man. In America, this is just our opinion. It's not a fact. It's just our opinion. Where we would like to see the game go back to, where we feel like it could be, where we think that it is now, and what's going to continue to hurt it, and what could possibly uplift it. It's just our opinion. Yeah, we just take the information and we analyze the data, and then we put it in our own perspective and in our own opinion. Yeah, because we're fans. I'm a big fan of the NBA. I've been a big fan since '78. The Seattle Supersonics. That was my squad. They lost it in '78, but they turned around and won it in '79. I could tell you that whole roster, but at least the starting 5. But so I've been a fan, and so I've seen the evolution, and I've seen the popularity at its highest and at its lowest. I've seen it all, and I'll continue to watch it. I can't watch it as much because of all of the 3-point shooting. And if you're out there and you think it's exciting, that's fine, and that's going to be what it's going to be. But to me, it has devalued the game because everybody wants to be Steph. you know, and the lack of defense, that's for another show. But and the officiating has changed. I mean, they blow the whistle. They go to the monitors to check for flagrant foul 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. You know? But it just there's some certain things that they could get rid of to make it better for me and D-Lo as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we matter. We all matter. You know, and if you like it, you like where it is, then cool. You know, don't come at me, you know, because I don't agree. You know, we can, you know, whatever your comments are, that's cool. Keep it respectful. I'll have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
All day, you know, but just keep it respectful, because I don't have to like what you like, but I will respect what you like.
Right.
And that's all it is at the end of the day, because we're gonna keep bringing this sports. And when NFL football starts up, I'm a Raider fan. You know, if you're in the AFC West, we can talk football. You know, it's all good, but just keep it respectful. College basketball's coming up, college football's coming up. You know, it's all coming up, and we'll be coming up with that Sports Junkie Lounge. But you know, it's just our opinion. Just remember that, America. It's just our opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And with that being said, this is D-Lo and
Cha-Cha's always in the building, baby.
And we out. Peace.
Deuces.